Jeff, we've been at work for months now developing this application, and one thing that you've really pushed hard on is overhead and the ability to accurately track that.
Right.
From your experience, why has that been an issue in the past?
Well, in the past, as far as a business owner myself, we struggled with keeping up with accurate overhead. We did not really understand, or didn't take the time to understand, how important overhead was, and calculating, how much money was actually involved in overhead.
Now, when you say overhead, you're referring to Sally in the office. You're
Right.
referring to
Light bill, utilities,
bill.
yeah.
If you have a cleaning staff,
Right.
I mean, anything that has to do with the daily operations or
Yes,
maintenance of
yes.
your buildings to equipment.
Even your bank note on your building. If you're in the middle of purchasing your building, or your office space, you still have to consider that in your overhead. And another thing too that a lot of people don't realize is, if they're a large enough company to have superintendents, you can't designate that superintendent's time to one particular job.
I see.
And so there again, that's one instance where you would have to roll them into your overhead, because your superintendent is going to work on multiple jobs per day, and so he pretty much has to be in your overhead cost.
I gotcha. And so for calculating overhead, I'm a business owner. Would I essentially just look at my monthly expenses in terms of what's going out and what it costs me to function in the office?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple feature to figure out what it costs you. You just take your average monthly expenses for the year, stuff that's not going to be allocated for per job.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, you look at the total dollars that you've done, and you divide your expense by those total dollars, and that will give you a rough percentage of what your overhead is. It may be 5%, maybe 7%, maybe 10%. Nobody knows but you. You have to figure that out.
Right. So then once I know what that number is, and once I'm in ProfitDig, I can just punch in that number, or my percentage rate for my overhead, and then ProfitDig is going to take it from there.
Yeah. And you set up all of your margins, your profits you want to make, your overhead expense, your tax rate, your bond rate, whatever is going to pertain to your initial bid, you put into your cost, and ProfitDig calculates everything for you.
Right.
And the good thing about ProfitDig is it allows you to alter those margins per bid item basis. If you have a bid item that you're not sure of, and it may need a little cushion, then you can inflate your profit margin, or you can inflate, your overhead, or you can even go in and put contingency money in per bid item, if you're uncertain.
Right.
But ProfitDig allows you to do all that very easily.
Right. Well, that's great information, Jeff. And as you know, we've been working really hard on putting all these features in place, and we're really excited for you guys to try this out as well. So visit ProfitDig.com for more information. We hope to see you there.